to Frequency Matters, the RF and microwave update. I'm Pat Hindle, and I'm here with my co-host Gary Lerude. November is our month for military and government electronics for the main issue. And then we also have a supplement that features 5G and IoT technologies, which I'm really excited about that. But this episode, we thought we'd cover the government and military electronics issue. So we have Dr. Eli Bruckner, very famous radar guru who pens the cover feature. He worked for Raytheon for more than 50 years. He's worked on every radar system you could probably name over the last 25 or 30 years. So he talks about the latest breakthroughs in phased array and radar technologies, including things like GaN TR modules, MIMO radar. He talks about metamaterials, system on chip, and digital beamforming. So it's kind of quite the review of the different breakthrough technologies that are impacting radar today. And so what else do we have for technical features?
Well, we have 3 additional technical features in the issue beyond the cover feature by Eli. One is kind of on the same theme. It's a 3D active imaging system for personal security, and it operates at W-band, so 90 to 94 gigahertz. It has about a square meter of coverage area with under a half a centimeter of resolution. Wow. So that's pretty interesting. The second article has to do with a power amplifier design using harmonic balance simulation. And the interesting thing here is the design is done with just transistor S parameters, no load pull data.
Right.
Good performance. It goes from 500 megahertz to 2.5 gigahertz with about 70 watts of output power. It's a 3-stage amplifier, and it uses some Cree GaN devices. And then our third article is a second-order bandpass filter that's got stepped impedance resonators as part of the design. The thing that makes this interesting is the out-of-band performance. Usually you have some kind of a comeback. Well, this filter works at around 2 gigahertz, and it has better than 17 dB suppression all the way out to 20 gigahertz.
Great, yeah, it's a good variety of topics.
Right. So how about the product features in the issue?
Yeah, so our MVP is from Mechian, their version 8 of their microwave wizard. And their software kind of combines the flexibility of the 2D, 3D finite element method along with the speed and accuracy of the traditional mode matching techniques. So it's a very, very quick but very flexible software. And then we have product features from Mini Circuits, and they tell how to take a narrowband MMIC and make it wideband with an application circuit, so that can be very useful.
Yeah, that was an interesting article.
Yeah, and Sage Millimeter discusses their E-band low noise and power amplifiers. Berkeley Neutronics has a automated phase noise, it's pulse phase noise measurement system that goes to 26 gigahertz. And finally, we have Red Oak Canyon, which is a new one to me, and they do a low-cost wideband signal generator. So lots of product features. I know we kind of had a backlog of a lot of products going through the magazine lately.
Right. It's really interesting, some of the equipment that's coming out. I sure wish I had had some of that when I was working in the lab.
How about the tech briefs?
Tech briefs, we have 3 from NPI Corporation and Rohde & Schwarz. They've combined to do a on-wafer test system with Rohde & Schwarz's vector network analyzers that allow very good measurements up to 110 gigahertz. So it includes the on-wafer probe system, the CAL standards, and the software to interface and make the measurements. Teledyne Microwave Systems has come up with 6 new YIG-tuned band reject filters. The interesting thing about this is they've invented some new technology, which they've patented, that allows the 3 dB bandwidth at the high end of the band to be much narrower, and the notch at the low end deeper and wider. And also they can build these filters at lower frequencies, so that's interesting. And then Chow Wireless has introduced a line of 1 to 40 gigahertz amplifiers that have integrated power detectors. They come in various gain levels from 20 to 35 dB and 4 to 5 dB noise figure across that full band. So those are our tech briefs this month.
Big issue, a lot of information in there.
Yeah, absolutely.
So turning to the news, since we are doing the government and military electronics issue, I thought I'd cover a few of the contracts that were recently announced.
Yes.
Northrop Grumman got $95 million contract for their J-Crew systems, and those are kind of their software programmable jammers for preventing remotely detonated IEDs. So that's kind of a big ongoing program with Iraq and Syrian wars and things that are needed over there.
Right.
And then we have Harris Corporation got $10 million for tactical radios to an Eastern European country. And finally, Raytheon was approved for low-rate, initial rate production of their Fab-T program. So that's a family of advanced beyond line-to-site terminals for communications. So a lot going on in the defense market right now.
Yeah, a lot of contracts lately.
What did you see in the news?
Well, we just heard from Skyworks and Qorvo about their earnings results. Some interesting news there. Skyworks reported their full fiscal year 15. They did just under $3.3 billion in revenue. That's a record for them. 42% growth from the prior year. And if you look at their performance since their fiscal year 2009 through fiscal year 2015, it's been 26% compound annual growth over that period.
They've done very well.
Yeah, very well. Qorvo is a bit more diversified. They reported their Q2 fiscal quarter results, $708 million. That was up 12% over the prior year. Their mobile products group was the strong contributor. That delivered 82% of the total revenue, and they grew 19% year over year. As we've noted before, the infrastructure and defense business has been facing the headwinds from the slowdown in China in the infrastructure market, and so their revenue actually declined 13% year over year.
Yeah.
Although it was good to hear from James Klein, who we've talked to, but on the earnings call say they've hit bottom in China and it's starting to come back.
Well, that's good news.
So those two companies are really vying to capture the mobile space along with Avago.
Yeah.
And maybe by the next session we'll hear Avago's results.
Okay, great.
What else is going on?
So on the event side, I just returned from Shanghai recently. It was at the IME EMC event there, so I was actually very busy. But Microwave Journal had big news there. We announced the partnership with the Chinese Electrotechnical Society to co-locate their EMC China show in Beijing with us at EDICon 2016. So that will bring hundreds of new attendees focused on the EMC market. That will complement our RF microwave and high-speed digital design. And so they'll have 3 parallel tracks on EMC EMI topics. We'll have 5 parallel tracks. So should be something for everybody at the show.
Yeah, that's really exciting. It's a nice step forward.
Yeah, and don't forget, we're still taking abstracts to the end
Right.
of November for EDICon China. So go to ediconchina.com/papers2016 to submit your abstract.
Well, not as exotic as going to Shanghai, but I went to Tampa for Milcom a couple weeks ago and was able to spend about a day and a half there. I figured out I hadn't been there since 2005, so it was a nice refresher. They seemed to have a pretty good turnout. They had over 130 exhibitors in the exhibition area. It looked a little slow in terms of some of the traffic in the exhibition area, but I think they had pretty good attendance at the papers and some interesting papers as well. And next year they're moving from Tampa up to Baltimore for the show.
Yeah, that should be a good location for military-related topics.
Yeah, a lot of companies in that area.
Yes.
So anything else to cover?
I think that's about it.
All right, well, we want to thank you for watching, and we want to thank our sponsor, Mini Circuits, for making this program possible. You can find out about Mini Circuits' wide range of products at their website, minicircuits.com, and check them out. And we'll see you on the next episode of Frequency Matters.